Welcome back to the Black and Gold Report. I'm Cameron Songer. It's the UNCP basketball season preview. I'm joined now by head men's basketball coach Ben Miller. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Cameron.
Let's start by taking a look at last year's season. The team went 15-13, 9-10 in a very tough Peach Belt conference, narrowly missing the conference tournament. Take us through last season.
Well, it was an interesting year losing Quomain, early in the season, and he was kind of our heart and soul senior leader and led us in a lot of statistical categories, but the biggest thing was just his competitiveness and toughness. So I don't know that you ever recover or replace a guy like that. The guys did adjust and some other guys stepped up, but it was a challenge. We were in a lot of games, a lot of those close games, the guys were used to getting Q the ball and letting him do his thing. So it was a good learning experience for us, but also a challenging one.
Among the returning cast are a pair of guards who were the team's top scorers last year for really the second half, Brandon Watts and Alex Bradley. Watts now a junior, Bradley now a senior. Talk about what you expect to see out of them, perhaps also in more of a leadership role.
Yeah, those guys along with Nigel and Quomain, obviously when he gets back, are kind of the team leaders, team captains. And the expectations are very high. I think it was a learning experience for Alex and Brandon last year, Brandon being a sophomore, Alex being a junior, where a lot of that leadership was put on them when Quomain went down. And it's one of those learn by doing, it's hard to explain or unless you go through that experience to understand what that leadership requires. I think hopefully we'll see some benefits from that experience going into this year because those guys are a little more seasoned veterans in that leadership role. But they also get some great support from Nigel, one of our newer players, but an older player as a junior. And obviously when Quomain gets back, he'll provide great leadership as well.
Talking about some of the holes left from departing seniors from last year's team, it's mostly in the front court, the forward spots. Who do you expect to step in and become the starters at the forward spots this year?
Well, we were fortunate, even though Nigel wasn't playing last year, he was here second semester practicing with us. He did play 2 years of junior college basketball in a very tough league down in Florida. So even though it's his first year playing, he's older and more mature than your typical new player. And then, Carson Mounts and James Murray Boyles, his freshmen, got a lot of experience backing up Winford and Cordenbrock. So they were in there in the guts of key games and produced in big games. So I think, the combination of those guys along with Akia Pruitt, we do think that Jimmy Stady will redshirt, this year. But Akia will also provide some athleticism and length, off the bench and energy, along with Jeff McElwain. He's 6'9", 230. So we do have a big team, and I think also a fairly athletic team.
You talked about Akia a little bit. Who are some of the other newcomers who will step in and make an impact on this year's team?
Well, one of the other freshmen that came in with Akia, Micah Kinsey, has made an impact right away with his ball handling, his passing, his defense, his athleticism. I think he's going to definitely contribute in a lot of different ways, helping Alex with the point guard responsibilities, but those two guys can play together as well. And then Andrew also played really well, led us in scoring. Andrew Evans in the All-Army game. He's a very high energy guy, athletic, mostly a two guard. He can handle the ball, but he can really shoot it, but he also guards very well. So I think his contributions off the bench will be critical. And then, Mike Smith is another guy that, is a senior for us as well, and I didn't mention him, but his leadership is also, I told him he's kind of an unofficial captain. He's only been with us a couple years, but he's a senior, one of the hardest working guys in our program, one of our defensive stoppers on the perimeter as well, so he's going to provide a lot of leadership in the backcourt.
You mentioned that All-Army game. It was a very early exhibition game in terms of the season. What did you see from your team in that game in terms of what went right and some things you can also improve on?
Well, the veterans really struggled. And I was tough on them. I've been tough on those guys. They've had a little extra running. We're trying to learn how to become leaders, and that's not always easy. There's going to be some growing pains. And I think they obviously looked a little fatigued in that game, didn't shoot it well. They all turned it over quite a bit. I think they're going to play better. But our new guys really were a bright spot, and Micah led us with assists, Andrew Evans led us in scoring, and Akia led us in rebounding. So those are three really important areas that the newcomers stepped up and contributed in a big way.
All right, Coach. Don't go anywhere, Braves fans. We'll be back after these messages on the Black and Gold Report. Welcome back to the Black and Gold Report, joined once again by UNCP men's basketball head coach Ben Miller. Coach, the season sort of begins this weekend, a pair of exhibition games against very tough D1 competition. Friday, the game against Chapel Hill, and then Saturday evening, a trip to Houston, Texas. Talk about how those games sort of came together and what you hope to see out of those games.
Yeah, we're very fortunate. Obviously, Coach Williams, I think this is the fourth time we've played him, and has been very generous given those opportunities. That's, you can't find a better practice situation, exhibition type game where, you get to play against that kind of competition, that kind of environment. So it's just a great opportunity in so many ways. So it worked out also this year that Kelvin Sampson called this summer, and we had talked about it before, and he felt like this would be a good time for us to come down. And both Coach Sampson and Coach Williams are very generous too, and financially allowing us to make those trips, and giving us additional guarantee money that supports our program too. So just a great experience for our guys, and two quality opponents, obviously two great coaches, great programs, and you couldn't ask for better preparation and competition this time of year.
As for the regular season, the home opener is November 16th. You'll have 9 non-conference games before January 1st. What are some of the goals for the non-conference portion of the schedule?
Sometimes I think as coaches or players, you get caught up in looking down the road at, this game or that game, or, even postseason, things like that. And we've challenged our guys and our staff too, just to, take it one game at a time, one practice at a time, one drill, one possession. And, it's neat to look ahead because, I think this is as good, maybe the best schedule we've been able to put together, the most challenging. With the non-conference rivalries in state, we've got some long road trips in conference, some great rivalries there as well, but we try to schedule, North Carolina quality Division II opponents, teams that we think will be very competitive in the region rankings. And, we've got a great schedule here for our guys.
Since this is the preview show, we will ask you to look ahead a little bit to the Peach Belt Conference schedule. Who are some of the teams to beat in the conference this year, and who really stands out on that schedule?
Well, I think the coaches' polls, I think Augusta was picked first, and up there on the east side was Lander. Both those teams, were playing for the championship last year with a lot of good players back. Reigning probably the player of the year, Keyshawn Sherrill at Augusta, and Lander's got some great players as well. Both those teams return a lot. And then on the west side, Young Harris basically has everybody back, along with some key newcomers. Columbus State's always competitive. Montevallo, they lost some players, but the programs in this league are so well coached. They recruit so well, whether it's through transfers or high school players, junior college, that everybody year in and year out is going to have good players. Be very well coached. There's been a lot of continuity in the league in terms of the coaching staff. So I think everybody's dangerous. That's one thing I love about the league, is the balance, the coaching, the competitiveness. So we're excited, about the Peach Belt this year.
You talked about coaching staff. The head coach often gets a lot of the credit when things go right, but I know you don't do it alone. Talk about a little bit your assistants, your coaching staff, and how they contribute to the team's success.
Yeah, I'm blessed. I feel like I've got maybe the best staff I've been a part of, and it is really a team effort. I mean, Coach Richards has been with me now 3 years as our associate head coach, and knows me and knows the program, the university, the league very well now. And then adding Griffin Pittman to our staff was a blessing too. He was a great player here at UNC Pembroke. Again, knows the system, knows me, and he just knows so much about this university. So having 2 former players that are like family to me is awesome. Along with, my dad just got back in town, and he's been with us, throughout this 9-year, going into our 9th season. So, having his experience on staff is just invaluable. Along with, we got a great group of grad assistants as well. Tony Jones now has been with us for 3 or 4 years. Kaylin Eddings, has been added to the staff, who's a local product from Purnell Sweat, but a great guy. And then Connor Keltner, Drew's brother-in-law, is here on staff as our video and technology coordinator. So this is the best staff, we've been able to put together, and really one of the best staffs I've been a part of anywhere. So I think, it is a team effort, especially when you got guys you trust and that are like family to me.
Coach, thank you so much for joining us today. We look forward to talking to you again soon. Wish you the best of luck this season.
Thanks, Cameron.
It's all the time we have this week, Braves fans. As a reminder, season tickets for UNCP basketball are now on sale. For more information on UNCP athletics, including tickets, live stats, and live broadcasts, visit uncpbraves.com. For our coaches and crew, I'm Cameron Songer. Until next week, go Braves.
Braves fans, season tickets for the 2016-17 home basketball season are on sale now, and premium chairback seats for the Peach Belt Conference's most electric environment can be purchased for as little as $70. This season's package includes 14 men's games and 13 women's games and can be purchased by calling 910-521-6361 or visiting uncpbraves.com/tickets.